it's impossible to intelligently interpret a piece of music if you don't know how to analyze a poem, if you don't know how to find that kernel of raw humanity in a line of flowery text. Otherwise, the poet would not have spent his time or her time writing that text in the first place. And the composer certainly wouldn't have wasted the time repeating the text over and over and over until the innate melody of the words came out. So yes, I do require that my students analyze their poetry first. And if it's in a foreign language, the very first thing we do is translate it into the student's mother tongue. Now, sometimes that's not English. I have international students who come from Europe or Asia or wherever, and I make sure that the first language they translate their material into is their mother tongue. Because when you repeat the text in your first language, there is an emotional hook into your life experience that is much more immediate than it can possibly be in any second or third language that you might speak. So, for example, I have students from Hong Kong, and his first language is Cantonese. And so I make him translate everything into Cantonese. And he then has to sing his aria or his art song in his own Cantonese translation. And I tell him it doesn't matter if the words don't match up. It doesn't matter if the syllables are in the right place. It only matters that if you're talking about the sun on this note, you need to be saying the Cantonese word for sun on that note and just make it somehow work. And so it can be a frustrating process until they kind of wrap their minds around it. But once they get used to it, it becomes a terrific shortcut to coming up with a true and real emotional interpretation for a piece of music.